Hi, this is your instructor Daniel Chang. This is part three of the character design fan art redesign assignment. Now I'm going to move on to doing the cleanup work on Donatello. Hopefully this goes faster. It doesn't have as many blades to illustrate as the shredder, so maybe we'll see. Oh, yeah, you want a dark color. I still kind of liked having the idea of the goggles before, so maybe I will integrate those in here now. Mm. The goggles will be at an angle to us, so that's why I'm drawing it with this kind of oval shape. Like so. And I guess I can be lazy. Control J. I'm just gonna do that. Oh, come on. And then E. Let's see, merge it down, Control E, and then come back in and erase. Okay. I do kind of like these, this upset frowny expression. I don't know why. I like kind of this squarish head. Like small recessed chin. Grr. I don't know, maybe his head's a little bigger. Let's try it. Yeah, let's try it with a slightly larger head. That's not bad. Sometimes a slight head tilt actually adds a lot of character. Kind of gives that sort of like, like when your dog looks at you and go, huh? You know, and it gives it a slight head tilt expression. I remember an interview with Kane, the WWE wrestler, and he said because his head was behind a mask, he couldn't really emote much, and when his dog kind of looked at him with the head tilt, he thought, "Oh, I can use that," and so he did, and that was like more expression in that head tilt than his face. Just put a little buckle in there. And this is probably attached in some interesting way. I don't know. Let's see. Could make it just stitched on or something. Not sure. maybe a larger belt buckle here. There we go. Maybe he's got like pouches and stuff. This goes beyond our original idea, but you know, he's got gadgets and stuff. Maybe he needs like a place to put a screwdriver or, you know, something. Here's a little Phillips head or something. You know, needs like a little maker's kit it, for when he does his inventions and such. It's got a big, broad chest. And underneath this would be the shadow for the neck. All right. Doesn't have a beard. It's a shadow. Although I can see how you can misinterpret that as a beard, like a Abraham Lincoln beard. I think in order for us to not think of it as a beard, we have to not connect that and just kind of fill it in all the way in here. Let's see. This part, I think turtles only have how many fingers did the teenage? Is it just two? Oh, weird. Okay. Just two fingers and a thumb. Funny, huh? Been drawing them my whole life. I want to give the bow staff some character, more than just a straight line. Make it thicker up top, you know. Maybe over here has like bandages around there. Just kind of want to erase, drop back in, erase, drop back in, something like that. Perfect. This part is a knuckle coming towards us. Knuckles further down. over there. And then I've got that part. Yeah, I'm drawing this part in. Need a shadow beneath these pouches and the belt, this buckle as well. That makes it feel like it's popping forward, popping forward. Put a shadow under it. Feels like it's coming forward a little bit, including this sash, or not sash, but strap. This part is like the rim to the back shell, I guess. I want to give it that texture. And now, kind of a bulbous, round deltoid, a kind of cylindrical bicep area, and a very large forearm. And maybe this goes into some arm wraps and goes to this hands, which are gonna be just three, just a thumb and two fingers anyways. Maybe knuckles here. And oh yeah, there's an elbow pad back here. Probably very tight around there. And then we've got our arm wraps on this side. We'll see it wrap around coming towards us like that. And then we've got our knee pads down here. I'm gonna make it go vertical. Oh yeah, he's not wearing shoes, so it's gonna have to show the toes, two toes, just like the two fingers thing. Put that like this. There we go. There's my turtle. Here, let me see some of the back shell design from behind. There we go. It's so funny. Why are you so upset, Donnie? I don't know. Drew me with such skinny legs. It's kind of fun. There we go. All right. Now, let's do that trick where I select the outside, hit Control Shift I, make a layer underneath them, and then make them gray, like that. Cool, cool. Look at that. All right. Now, we can color them real quick. Um, I'll show you a trick. Now that I have this silhouette layer that I just made there, I can hide my sketch layer. Here's the shape of that silhouette, right? Once I have that, I can make a new layer and create what is called a clipping mask. I'll show you what a clipping mask does. First off, you make a new layer on top of this gray layer that I'm showing you. And then you hold down Alt and you put your cursor between the new layer and the shape layer. And when you click down, you'll see this layer thing over here indent, and it's got this like little right angle arrow pointing down, okay? And what that means now is whatever I paint now, I'm gonna paint like a crazy person right now, and I'll show you what happens. So look, whatever I paint, see this? Whatever I paint only stays within the confines of my shape layer. So I can paint as crazy as I want, and I'll always stay within the lines. Let me bring back my line work. And this, if I wasn't using it as a clipping mask, it will look like that. That's how crazy I was painting, right? But if I make it a clipping mask, it'll now be confined to that. In fact, I can even move this thing around here. Just, see how trippy that is? It's almost as if the shape layer is like a window. All right. So, this is the best way I know to start painting, right? So you can, you know, make the purple bandana thing, and then I'll do white for the eyes. And then usually Donnie is kind of like an olive. I remember he's like an olive green, which is closer to like a yellow, something like this color. So I'm just now, you know, the clipping mask thing, it helps for the edges, but within the confines here, I still got to paint, a little more careful, right? So here we go, just painting it in. And I'm just going to teach you all how to paint in flat colors for now. We can go, with more shading later on, but just, for the exercise here, let's just keep it to kind of flat colors without a whole lot of shading. So wherever I see turtle skin, I guess, it's going to be this color. Does have like an animated cartoon feel, doesn't it? With the flat colors. And teeth. Let's get the teeth down. Boom. Like that. Let's see. What is the color of his shell? Kind of this like yellowy. Yeah. Because I want very garish, very bright with the purple, I want to then balance that out with kind of not make the other colors on here nearly as saturated and colorful, just to balance it out a bit. It does make the purple pop when surrounding it by all these other let me do that again. Oh yeah, here's another technique is sometimes you just want to create the outline area here like this, and then you can like fill in the inside with a bucket tool. There. Don't know if that was faster. It felt faster. Okay. Now I want like oh wait, I missed a spot. His hand right here. Cool. And now a brownish color. Kind of brownish for both the bow staff as well as maybe the leather and the elbow pads. Yeah, just paint in the flats. I like it. Whenever we get some opportunities for some of that purple to color to come back, I think we can do that. Like on the letter D. Right. Boom. And maybe a less saturated version and a little darker version for the screwdriver handle for the wraps around the bow staff. So we can differentiate it from our arm wraps. And yeah, even if we just left it here like this, it looks like a pro worked on it, right? A little bit of this on the buckle, and maybe make the top of the goggles also purple. Cool. There's Donatello. And again, without the clipping mask, that's what I actually painted, right? Something like that. Okay. Now let's do the same thing for Shredder and his colors. Oh, come on. Oh yeah, let's get a reminder of what Shredder's colors look like. He's also purple. Oh my goodness. Didn't realize I had two gray and purple characters. All right, let's do the dark gray, which is kind of a bluish dark gray, I think. It's like a desaturated blue, like this. Got like a darker belt. So I'm using my first silhouette, the one with the body and not the cape, as the starting point for this one. Because then I'll have the loincloth and all the, all this stuff where I can, let's see, got arm wraps underneath, right there. And the pants are much darker. Okay, let's go with the flesh color. Let's see. Is that a good color? Or should I go brighter? Yeah, slightly brighter. So where does the skin show up? Well, the arms, like the bicep area, right? And the hands and the neck. Although in that cartoon, yeah, he's got an exposed neck there. fun. It's getting there, huh? Let's do a darker color here for these pants. If I want to color pick, I hold down Alt, and then I can color pick whatever color's already on my screen. And the feet. Cool. And then we've got the sort of bluish, do like a bluish metal, light blue. That. It's actually okay if I paint in a blue and then turns out to be too light, because as long as I stay consistent and paint all the bits that I want, similar colors, I can always reselect this light blue and change up the colors afterwards. It's fun though. I like seeing the big massive gauntlets. He's got crazy Popeye arms here. Yeah, this is looking too bright. I just finish coloring and then I'll just change all of it at once. You can do that? Yes, yes you can. But you got to be consistent. You can't go like halfway through it and then you decide, oh well, I want to change it, change my colors. Nope, gotta be consistent. Better to be consistently wrong in Photoshop than to be halfway right, because you can always fix things if you need to. Like that. Okay. I do feel like a lighter belt might actually pop, because he's already got this dark gray here. Why not a lighter belt? Maybe. Yeah. So now how do I select all these? Well, you go in with the magic wand tool and you just click on all the bits that have this bright blue color, including the belt right here. Now it's selected all of that. You can hit Control H to hide your little selection crawly ants. Hit Control U to bring up the hue saturation menu. And from here, you can actually darken all of that. You can change it to be more consistently purple throughout. That might actually be good. You can up the saturation or lower the saturation. I like that as a contrast there. Pretty good. So again, you don't have to have, you know, all the right colors all selected. You just need to lay something down and then make sure you got everything that's the right shape. You want him to have red eyes, maybe brighter red eyes. That's kind of fun. That's like some white inside. Something like that. Pretty neat. Oh wait, what about the purple cape? Yes. The part that, well, maybe not as crazy bright as Donatella's bandana there. Let's see. Well, maybe. Let's try it. The piping on this collar kind of, and also on this loincloth. Got a little bit of piping here. Boop, boop, boop. Like that. Can maybe have one part here. I don't know. Not, maybe not that. Huh, what if this whole collar was like it was part of the cape? That might work. Better. Better. Surprisingly better. Now, below it, where I have this cape layer, I'm going to also have a clipping mask. And this part is all about the purple cape. Maybe the inside of the cape isn't so bright. Control U. I'm going to darken it, desaturate it, darken it. I think it still needs to be lighter than our gray. But maybe the outside of the cape. Maybe the outside of the cape that folds in. Maybe that part. Not bad. Okay, something like that. And then on here, with the line work, come in and make my last minute fixes. You know, it's like the cape folds in, back in, and we see a bit of the outside there. And then let's make this like, you know, part of the thing. Should I have some kind of a, you know, to show like it's pinned? I don't know. I don't think it's needed actually. Huh. Oh, we should be consistent though. If there's piping, like this lining part, yeah, we can see it. Something like that. Not bad, not bad. Okay. Now, one additional thing we can do is we can paint in one flat thing of shadow. And I'm just going to do that by creating yet another clipping mask on top of our current clipping mask. And then I'm going to set it on multiply. And I'm going to use like a light gray color. What does that do? Well, you see like right here, the multiply layer just darkens whatever it is that's underneath it. So right here, I've, this is basically shading at this point, right? So, so you can actually create a shadow layer this way. Just by, you know, like the stuff I was doing with darkening it, the line, thickening up the dark line before. Yeah, do that here. I want the blades to pop. Just want to put all this side and group it all in shadow. Group all this stuff inside shadow. His hands in shadow. So this whole leg, that's in shadow. Maybe everything on the inner side plane is in shadow. Something like that. Shadow. Just this very, yeah, So that adds a extra dimension to our flat colors. In fact, that may actually be good enough to show up in an animated cartoon. See if we can do the same thing here with Donnie. Create a new layer, click clipping mask, set it on multiply, and just kind of paint in, this arm down here, mostly in the shadow, like that. This stuff back here. This is the head, right? So all this stuff could be in the shadow. This left. Anything facing the left side would be in shadow. Left side, left leg, all in shadow. I'm mainly going by the rules that I was talking about before. Oh, this might be kind of fun. Can actually give some variation to this bandana. Don't know. Maybe. It might be too much detail. We are trying to make it look like an animated show after all. Not bad. Something like that. Okay, cool. There you go. My two character designs of and oh, just for the sake of the project, let's I'm gonna go copy, paste, because I'm sure you all are gonna create stuff that is out of my knowledge base. I'm gonna have some modern day anime that I'm not gonna know about. So, so what we need to do is bring in a couple of these reference images so that, I know what I'm looking at. Copy, right, paste, right. Here's Shredder, right. And then in the style of, I guess I could write that down somewhere, but could write this, copy, paste, could write it down like, write it under using this text layer. In the style of Satoshi Shi Matsura. And then shrink it. Right. And we can write Donatello. In case folks did not know. And then over here, Shredder. Cool. There we go. There's the assignment. Have fun with it. Last, there's always more, but last but not least, if you want to put in a cast shadow, that would be a good thing. It just seats them onto the ground, you know? Want to just paint that in, it would actually help the image. Gives it some weight as well. Cool. I'm just gonna lower the opacity of that. Yeah, better. Okay. Cool. All right, saving this out. And also a JPEG. I'll put this up. Thanks, everyone. Have fun with the assignment. I look forward to seeing your drawings.